Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching me from. They say that there are certain rules that any leader, whether political, corporate, or in any other circle that you are in, should not go against if you want to be a leader or if you want to work with your current leader. Those laws are called the 48 laws of power. Yes, they are the undisputed rules of the game, rules of politics, rules of leadership, and rules of leadership in general. If you go against them, you could never go up the ladder as a leader, or you will have to deal with having conflicts with your boss every time. Rigathi Gachagua, the Deputy President of Kenya, is one such case of a leader who has decided to go against the 48 laws of power. And unfortunately, he has gone against the first law of power, which is never outshine your master. The Kenya Kwanza government is barely a month old, and we have seen Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua trying to outshine his boss, President William Ruto. That is the thesis of this video today, and welcome to you all. And I have to say that in case you've not subscribed to this YouTube channel, kindly subscribe to it by kubonyeza that, by clicking on that subscribe button, the red subscribe button below here, either on the left or on the right, depending on which device you're watching from. Let's start. The first law of power, which Rigathi Gachagua has gone against, is never outshine your master. Rigathi Gachagua, not barely a month into the vice presidency, and is already trying to outshine his master. There are 7 ways that I've seen Rigathi Gachagua try to outshine his master. You could also give me some of them, and just on the comment button, and I'll really appreciate. Remember that William Ruto also outshined Uhuru Kenyatta during his tenure, and that is why they went different directions and they could not meet eye to eye during that regime. It was like from 2017 to 2022, there were 2 governments, 2 presidents running Kenya. The same case is repeating itself as Gachagua and Ruto seems to be calling shots from their different camps. The first instance that I've seen Gachagua try to outshine his master is when Ruto was picking his running mate. He preferred Kithure Kindiki, but due to the financial muscle of my friend Rigathi Gachagua, due to the Kikuyu factor, Rigathi Gachagua managed to lobby fellow Kikuyu Mount Kenya politicians, and they rallied behind him at the last minute of choosing the running mate for Kenya Kwanza. Remember, Kithure Kindiki is an renowned lawyer, and he was taunted to be the running mate until the last minute. Remember, in politics, it's not about winning, It's about the strategy, but not about the legitimate win. That's number one. Rigathi Gachagua, tick, outshining his boss. Number two, during the campaigns, you remember that Rigathi Gachagua was a former PA for Uhuru Kenyatta for the longest time possible until 2017. And it will be even hard for him to ascend to the kingship of Mount Kenya because of the fact that during the campaigns he attacked Uhuru Kenyatta, claiming that he has been a bad leader, claiming that he has been an incompetent leader, claiming that he has been mistreating his boys, his deputy left, right, and center. And now it is his turn. He's outshining his boss. During the campaigns, he attacked Uhuru Kenyatta more, outshining his then boss, who could help him in the future. And also, instead of being strategic and leaving William Ruto to attack Uhuru Kenyatta, he did it himself. He outshined him despite Uhuru Kenyatta coming from his backyard and being his boss back then. Number three, during the campaigns, he invaded DP Ruto's bedroom, which is Rift Valley. Remember, after being unveiled as the running mate, at some point, Rift Valley politicians were uncomfortable with Rigathi Gachagua trying to invade Rift Valley and campaigning for William Ruto. Actually, I think Rigathi Gachagua was testing waters to see how he will be received in that area. But the politicians were like, why will Rigathi Gachagua come to Rift Valley while we need more votes from Mount Kenya, where he comes from? According to them, they thought that Rigathi Gachagua was supposed to concentrate more on the mountain. Remember, Rigathi Gachagua was trying to make inroads, testing waters. How would the Rift receive him if he decides to run in 2027 or 2032? Number four, during the inauguration of President William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua actually stole the show. He is the deputy president. He was being sworn in as the deputy president, but actually he caused so much drama that it looked like that day was his day. Remember, he was sworn in almost 3 times. Was being the judge was the registrar of the judiciary, repeated almost 3 times, and at some point he also went outside the swearing in wording that was put by the judiciary. So in front of over 20 presidents and other dignitaries all over the world, the focus turned from William Ruto to Rigathi Gachagua. Number 4, he also attacked William Ruto during that time. You remember that, not William Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta was leaving office. He was handing over to William Ruto. But while it was expected that Rigathi Gachagua was supposed to be a bit presidential in his speech, he went rampage on the president, attacking him. In fact, if I could go verbatim, he said that the president has left the country in a dilapidated situation economically. Remember, this is his former boss. Remember, he's stealing the show from his current boss. And instead of the current boss attacking the former president, he was doing it. He was creating an opinion. He was creating a show. He was turning focus on himself. Number 5, Rigathi Gachagua came in as one of the politicians who did not know how to dress. He could dress as if, you could see as if one button is on the collar and the other button and the next button is on his tummy. But he has managed to change his wardrobe from wearing baggy and designed clothes to now wearing designer fitting clothes. In fact, nowadays he's called Reggie G. And he has actually accepted that name. And that has actually endeared him to the youth. He's trying to be youthful by putting on stanners. And, those are things that William Ruto never did in the first term. But Rigathi Gachagua is actually doing these things in the first month. Barely a month is gone since they were inaugurated. Then number 7, when Ruto went to for the funeral of the England Queen, Rigathi Gachagua was left to take charge of the country. After that burial, William Ruto went to the United States for the United Nations General Assembly, where he delivered an impeccable speech by his own standards. But back home, Rigathi Gachagua went to close the music festival in Kisumu. And in that music festival, he landed on a military chopper. He's showing the president that I can marshal the military, use the military chopper when you are away. Remember, presidency is very jealous. And when he landed in Kisumu, I think you people saw how he stole again the show at the music festival, where he joined Children on Stage. He was with CS Magoha. It was with Jaguar, and he actually gave Jaguar a chance to perform in front of the audience, which actually, in a way, tilted the way he supported Jaguar and let Jaguar sing for the kids. In a way, it melted the hearts of the youths and of the children, and the way he was dressed in stanners, he created such a show that you could actually think that is the president. And when it came to him commenting on the CBC, he never said that he was set by the president, that he came on behalf of the president. He said that they were going to sit down as a government, look at the CBC, remove things that that should be removed from the system and rectify it. That was not Ruto's mouthpiece, but his own mouthpiece. He was making declarations as if he is the president. And lastly, after that, I think a day after, he went for the burial of Bomet, Deputy Governor of Bomet burial, where he also makes certain comments about land that made him look like he's actually the president, or they're sharing power. I will not say it verbatim, but this is what he's saying. He is actually encouraging people to get into the forest, to do some small farming, because he says that the forest is fertile, but people are not making use of it. But remember that Wangari Maathai is one of the leaders who was in the forefront of conserving the forest. And one of the things that she said is that the shamba system is one of the things that has affected especially the Mau and other forests. So she was against it. It was abolished, but they seem to be getting it back. But it was a way during the Moi government of people to grab land, of the then president to allocate land to people, to people who are surrounding him, and that is how people grabbed land. And here we have a vice president who is making a declaration that people can actually encroach into the forests and do farming. And if you've been on the internet, you've seen Lelama Olekina actually castigating the declaration. You've seen the former senator of Kakamega also not in support of it. We've seen so many people that are not in support of it. So Rigathi Gachagua is deputy president, but Rigathi Gachagua is claiming the glory of his boss. How far will this go? Remember, Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto are both go-getters, both ruthless. How will it go? Is Rigathi Gachagua breaking the first law of power so early? Leave me a comment. This is the Alan Patton Special, your daily dose of politics. Salute!